All right, no catchy intros today. It is the beginning of Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
So we want to talk to you about a great organization called Little Pink Houses of Hope. So stay around and learn about it.
That's right, folks. So today we're going to be interviewing Miss Doris, who has been volunteering with Little Pink Houses of Hope for over 10 years now. Her husband TJ is in the background giving us a hard time, but it's all in good fun.
Yeah, TJ never quits. So that's what keeps driving this train forward, though, is not quitting. If you don't know who we are, my name is Chris Shores. This is Tim Loomis. We're business partners. We're the owners of White Whale Real Estate. And we love being able to give back to our community. And one of the ways we do that is by showcasing or doing local spotlights of different companies and organizations. So today we're really excited to be able to talk with you about Little Pink Houses of Hope. Doris, being the volunteer for over 10 years, is going to really be able to shed some light on that, who they are and what they can do to help, because it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So it's going to align very nicely with what the organization's mission, vision, and goals are as well. Please remember to like, subscribe, and follow to make sure you stay up to date on all the latest and greatest and fun things in the New Smyrna, Daytona greater area. And we'll see you in the interview. All right, everybody, welcome. We are in a beautiful oceanfront home in New Smyrna Beach on the this is the Drive Beach.
This is the Drive Beach.
Right next to the Crawford Ramp. We're very fortunate and happy to be here with Doris today and to kick off Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So Doris is a local legend here, and her husband TJ. He's in the background, so we can mess with him right now. Yeah. So Doris, thank you for being here today. One of the organizations that you support and you're a big part of is Little Pink Houses of Hope.
Yes.
So first of all, where do you hail from and who are you? And
I hail from Ellicott City, Maryland. I lived there my entire life, and in 2006, my husband and I retired, and we moved down here to New Smyrna Beach, and we've been here ever since.
It's awesome. It's funny. I didn't pick up any accent until you just actually said where you were from. So kind of funny.
Is it Downy by the ocean, or how do you say it?
Down the ocean,
Down the ocean, hun.
Down the ocean, hun.
And all you Maryland viewers out
how
there.
about them O's?
And those O's.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. It's our pleasure.
So Little Pink Houses of Hope, I haven't really been familiar with it until you brought it up to us. I know we've known each other for a long time. I think getting close to a decade or so now.
That just says how old I am. Thank you, Chris.
You're still doing great. You still beat me in tennis every time we play.
Yeah.
So could you explain that to the viewers, what Little Pink, or who Little Pink Houses of Hope is?
Sure. So Little Pink Houses of Hope is a nonprofit organization that provides free week-long retreats to breast cancer patients and their families, both male and female. And our retreat locations, there's 20 of them across the country,
Wow.
including St. John, the Virgin Island. And we host approximately 8 to 10 families at each retreat. And we have a whole week where we do activities, we do meals for the families, and they're not required to attend any of the activities or any of the meals, because if they just want to come and chill at the beach or at the location where they are, if that's what they need in order for them to get through like the next part of their breast cancer journey, then that's what they do.
That's awesome.
You know,
yeah.
but we do have the activities as well as meals, because we have families that come, and we want to be able to have them connect with other people who are going through the same journey that they're on, which has been very helpful to a lot of the survivors, because they don't know anybody else. Some of them do not know anybody else who's going through the same thing they're going through. So it helps them as well.
Oh, yeah,
And
okay.
so our housing is all donated, our meals are all donated, and most of our activities
That's
are
amazing.
donated. And so New Smyrna Beach, we have the distinction of being the first location to have 2 retreats running simultaneously, because we have so many owners who donate their properties.
Awesome.
And so
Well,
this
that's
year
great.
we have 22 properties. that are
Wow.
being
That's
donated.
awesome.
Where was the first one?
The first one was in North Carolina, and I want to say it was probably like in Hatteras
Okay.
or in Buxton, or North Carolina, and the Outer Banks area, because
Okay.
our parent company, the office is located in Burlington, North Carolina,
Okay.
and so it all started up there.
And
And
when,
so-
sorry, when was the first? When did this first start?
Well, in New Smyrna Beach, the first retreat here was in 2013, where we had, I think, 5 or 6 families come.
Okay.
But it actually started, Little Pink started in 2009.
Awesome. Very good. So it made a lot of progress over the
A
last
lot of
years.
progress.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so your headquarters out of North Carolina.
Correct.
So you mentioned a little bit. So you started there. Why started there? Is there a founder? Is it a corporate company?
Yeah,
Like, what is
the founder, Janine Patton Coble, she founded it, and she lives in Burlington, North Carolina with her
Okay.
husband and her son.
So it makes sense. That's where it's
That's
headquartered.
That's where it's headquartered.
So how many people does Little Pink Houses of Hope serve per year?
Well, we serve on the average between 140 to 160 families. Because even though, so if we have 22 families who have been invited to New Smyrna Beach, like the week before, someone may go back into the hospital.
Okay.
Depending on where they are in their cancer journey, or they may become sick again, or they may be re-diagnosed again, and their physician won't allow them to travel.
Okay.
Okay.
And so right now we have 22, and hopefully all 22 families will be able to come.
That's awesome.
But that's how, like, once you're selected for the retreat, then we do ask those questions because we want to make sure you're healthy enough to come on the retreat.
Of course.
Right.
And enjoy yourself, or just sit here and look at the beach.
Yeah,
like
and
all
it's
day
really
long.
nice that you give it's the option too. So if you just really want to come to a place with other people going through similar things and just sit, like you said, look at the beach, you can do that. Or
Yes.
you can be more involved. It's kind of what you're most comfortable and what's best for you
Correct.
at that time. Yeah,
Correct.
that's amazing.
So now is it only beaches, or do
No.
you have other locations? So I
No.
wanted to go to the mountains.
We have the mountains. We have in Georgia, Blue Ridge,
Okay.
Okay.
and then we
beautiful.
also have Arizona. We have a couple locations in Arizona. We have California. We have Michigan. We do Maryland, North Carolina, Connecticut. I'm trying to think what other states. Alabama.
Nationwide.
Yeah,
Nationwide.
nationwide.
And we actually did one year have a retreat in Costa Rica.
Okay. All right.
But because of COVID, we stopped going there. We're
Right.
hoping to return one day.
Of
but,
course.
You know, and plus we have St. John the Virgin Island.
Okay.
So you're obviously always looking to expand and provide this more people the opportunity to be a part of this too.
Yes, we
Yeah.
are, but we don't want to expand too much then where it becomes too overbearing, and then we don't give the service that the families need.
Of
Right.
course.
You know, we don't give that to them because then it's taken away by, we have so many locations and so many families.
You're
and
spread out too
so-
thin,
correct.
and yeah, so slow, steady growth,
Correct.
which is a good thing. How do people get in touch with you? As far as like, did they reach out to you, or are they referred by other?
Well, no, they find us online
Okay.
or by word of mouth for littlepink.org. That's
Okay.
how we are on the website, Little Pink Houses of Hope, but we go by littlepink.org. And some of the people have friends or family who have already been on one, and like then they are diagnosed, and so then they apply
Okay.
for
Okay.
the retreat. But at first it was basically by word of mouth, or because it was out of North Carolina, a lot of the oncologists then knew about like Little Pink. You know,
Got it.
they were
So
aware
strong
of it.
referral
and,
status
yes.
with it. So with that, so it started out referral. Now you're
Uh-huh.
nationwide. So you're growing. It seems like at a good steady growth rate.
Yes.
You're helping around 160 families, serving around 160 families per year. What does that application process look like, and how do people get selected to be able to experience these vacations and?
So you just go online, and on our website it has an application where you fill it out. It's not very difficult. It's not very long. And then we used to have a process where we had a group of individuals. They were separate from everybody else, and they were a committee, and then they would review the applications and then select people. But we found out that even if you're recently diagnosed and you may be stage 1, you may be in need of the retreat as much as someone who was just diagnosed stage 4.
Okay.
Okay.
And so we did away with the committee, so now it's just, like a grab bag. where they
Okay, so
select
like a
you that
lotto
way.
system.
It's a lotto system.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, that's nice true, because you're going through different things at different phases, so it
Correct.
gives everybody the opportunity
Correct.
as well.
And so then when you apply for the retreat, we ask that you apply for maybe 7 to 10 locations.
Okay.
And that gives you a better chance of being selected versus if you just apply for one.
Got it.
Then that's the only chance you have. And we do have, some of the locations are just couple locations.
Okay.
Where like St. John's is a couple, Buxton was a couple, just only couples are invited.
Okay.
It's not family.
That
Because
was
some
my
people are
question,
just,
yeah.
they're just a husband and wife, or they're partners and they don't have any children, and some may not want to be around children.
Right.
And so this gives them the opportunity to just be around adults.
Got it. Yeah, because that was my question: was how do they select a location, and if they were able to select multiple? So you just answered that question for me
Yes.
right there. Yeah.
So to kind of go on that too, me being dense, Could you,
You're not.
I guess, elaborate a little bit more on the service that's actually being provided? So they go through they submit their application, and then they get picked. And then what does that mean for them? They pick a spot on the beach. So they get the house for free for a week, and they don't have to pay for things.
And is it always a
Correct.
week? Is it always a week
Correct,
long?
it's always a
Okay,
week long,
perfect,
yes.
yeah.
And so once they're selected, depending on their financial situations, we have started this year where we have a travel agency company that we have a huge grant for travel expenses. So if you meet that threshold for the traveling, you can apply to have your travel expenses paid for. Now, this is like the first year we're doing that.
Yeah.
Other than that, you're required to get to the location that you're selected for. Once you're there, your housing is free for the whole week. You don't have to pay for that at all. And then we provide meals during the week that are free. The activities are all free. And then some of their meals, we only provide, most of the time, just one meal a day now. We actually have stepped back from, before COVID, we were doing 2 meals and 2 activities a day. We have stepped back, and now it's just at least 1 activity a day and 1 meal a day. Sometimes there might be 2 for that day and 2 meals.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's just 1 activity, 1 meal, and then we give you gift cards to go out for your other meals. So I have a group here in town. It's called Team Pink, but they didn't like that name, so they wanted to be called the Pink Minions. So they're my minions. And so they go around to the restaurants and they solicit gift cards from the restaurants, and then we distribute them to the families so that they can go out to the restaurants during
That's it.
the week.
So restaurant owners out there in New Smyrna Beach, Little Pink Houses of Hope, great cause to give some of those gift cards to.
Always a way to give. And we saw you.
We'll solicit them for you.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you, guys.
We saw you at McKinney's the other day, Little Pink
Yes.
Houses of Hope on the Monday.
Yeah.
So it's really, it just sounds like a very nice way to be able to help people get out of the current situation that they're in and give them a little bit of break of the trials that they're going through.
Correct,
right now.
because we don't discuss any type of the latest and greatest, like procedures or treatments or anything like that, unless they bring it up. We're all about just relaxing, rejuvenating yourself, so that when you do get back home, if you do have more treatments you have to go through or surgeries, then hopefully we've given you that time to reset yourself and prepare you to do that. So the week is just supposed to be of relaxation and reconnecting.
Okay.
And then so they come with their family or with their significant other. After everyone goes back, I'm sure like numbers are exchanged and things like that, but is there any kind of like way or group online for everyone to kind of communicate and stay in touch with each other?
Yes, for each retreat location, we do a closed Facebook group for them, so that no one can join it other than if you were on the retreat. Perfect. And then we also have an alumni where on Facebook as well, because that's the way we can communicate with the most number of people. And so you can join the alumni page if you want to join that as well. But I will say during the retreats, most of the participants will exchange numbers with everybody anyway, and so they stay in touch. I mean, they even had one retreat where all the survivors got tattoos.
Oh, very cool.
And they're actually on a commercial. I think it's a Dial soap commercial. I'm not quite sure, but
really?
Yes, there's a commercial where they
making it happen.
The wild group that came here, we all got tattoos.
We'll be on the lookout for that commercial now.
They set the bar,
Or it might be Dove. I'm not quite sure. But
all right, one of them. One of the Stay Clean commercials.
Yes.
So you guys have been helping a lot of people out over this since 2009. We're already at 2023 here. How long have you been with the organization for?
I've been with them since 2013.
Okay.
I was diagnosed with breast cancer at the end of 2012, and then I had several surgeries at 2013 because of that. And so during one of my relaxation periods after one of the surgeries, I went online and I was looking things up because I had a girlfriend about 10 years prior to me getting breast cancer. She had it, and she went on this fishing trip where they taught her how to fly fish, and they gave her all these nice clothing and all. And so she said, look that up, and see if you can go on one. Well, I never found it, but I found this Little Pink Houses of Hope. And so I just then started communicating with them that, I was a survivor and I was interested, like, in actually going on a retreat. But then my husband pointed out that where we live at the beach, because at that time they were only doing beach retreats, and I was like, oh yeah, you're right about that. I don't want to take somebody's away. Exactly. I don't want to take that away from somebody who doesn't live at the beach.
Yeah.
So I sent an email explaining all of that, and in their web page it says you have to be available for the entire week. Well, my parents had just moved into a assisted living facility, and I was helping them out. And so I couldn't donate an entire week, but I could do a day or two. And so I explained that. And so the next day I got a phone call from a young man, and he was explaining what Little Pink was all about, things like that. And then he said, we need somebody boots on the ground. And I said, okay, well, I'll try and help you out. What do you need? And he said, well, we need housing, we need activities, and we need food.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, so you need everything? And he was like, yes, we need everything.
Yes,
I was like,
essentially everything to
great.
make this,
So then, I told my husband, well, they need everything. He goes, and you're going to do it all? And I go, well, I'll try and do something. And
Sometimes when you raise your hand, you get called on.
yeah.
So.
And so it actually was a good thing, because then it opened me up to the community, because we didn't really know anybody.
100%. The impact that you've made in the last 10 years of doing this too is outrageous.
The only negative thing is whenever we walk into a restaurant now or a place that donates to Little Pink, they're like,
Is
oh, is
everybody
it that
ducking
time
you?
of the year? And I'm like, no, we're just
They
here
better
to
not
eat.
be.
You know?
Yeah, so.
We're not asking for you next time. We
Yeah,
swear.
we're coming here
Just
because we
here
like
to
your
eat.
food.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like your food.
Yeah.
What is the vision for Little Pink Houses of Hope? Is there a certain direction that you're trying to go? I mean, I know you said slow expansion, but
Well, we did find out when we expanded too quickly that we just spread everybody too thin, because we were having, so me as I'm called a coordinator for this location, but I also coordinate another location. And so we have the directors who they actually come in for the week. They don't live locally, but they come in and then they direct everything for that week. And so we weren't having a lot of people to be able to do that. So the directors were having to direct like 2 or 3 retreats, and most of the people have full-time jobs. I'm lucky I'm retired, so I don't really have a job. And I'm not being paid. It's all volunteer. And so we were wearing the leaders thin, and so we pulled back for the locations. And now we're doing slow again, and then pulling more people. The more people, the more location, the more retreats we have every year, then more people are being involved, and then we have more of a population we can pull from to have directors and to have coordinators.
So similar to you, they come and they obviously fall in love with this and the experience that they have, and then a handful usually want to go on and have time to volunteer. So just a natural, the way it should be.
Correct.
Yeah, it'll just grow.
It's organic growth.
Organic,
Correct.
yeah. Exactly.
And that's it. So we do. I mean, and that's what most of our leaders are. Either they were on a retreat or they had a loved one that had breast cancer and they wanted to give back.
So with your experience and all the people you've helped out with in the new Smyrna location, or overall the U.S. and St. Thomas International abroad, do you have St. John's. So many islands out there. Do you have a story or somebody that you served or a family that's really stuck out to you that really resonates? I know that's a hard thing to say, because I'm sure all of them.
Every year there's always one family that like sticks in your mind, and those that stick mostly are those who come and then within the next few weeks pass. And so you're just grateful that you were able to serve them while they were here, and you go back and you look at the photos and how they're smiling.
Right.
And then after they pass, then the family gives back. Like they'll come back. Like we had one husband and his 2 sons, they keep on coming back as volunteers to other retreats. But because they had such an amazing experience, that they want other families who went through what they went through.
Have the same thing,
Yeah.
And to be able to provide that I understand.
So beautiful thing that Little Pink Houses of Hope is doing, connecting people, families, and just helping share memories and take a little bit of the burden off be a little bit of a time as it is. What can our viewers do to help out, to donate, volunteer, just because you don't have a home to donate or a restaurant that you
Doesn't
own?
mean you can't help. Yeah.
I'm sure if you want to lay out the gamut of what people could do to
Yes.
donate, and if you do have a home, you know.
And you, yes.
Yes, I mean, if you do have a home, it doesn't have to be here in New Smyrna Beach. It could be at one of our other 20 locations
Yeah.
that you would be willing to donate to house a family, to be there for the week. We would love that, because that's how we are able to accommodate more families, is from those who do donate. And so you can just go onto our website at littlepink.org, and there is an application there for you to donate your home, or if you want to do a monetary figure, you can donate there. Or if you live locally and you like to donate, we're always looking for beach towels or something, say like from New Smyrna Beach, that we can give to the families so that they'll always remember this. So we're always, and if you have a meal you like to donate to a family or anything like that, you know, we're always open to that.
Absolutely, yeah, and we'll make sure all the information's
Yeah, we'll leave
below.
it-
Are you, so you have a website,
Yes.
so that's website and Facebook are the main ways.
Correct.
Got it,
Correct.
perfectly.
And the
Yes.
Facebook is Little Pink too, or is it Little Pink?
No,
House?
so
Okay.
I think it's Little Pink Houses of Hope is what the Facebook is, but the main one is the webpage, littlepink.org.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, either way, guys, we'll leave the link in the description. And if you don't have a home, or, you know, there's different ways that you can donate. Like Doris was saying, I think the beach towels is a great thing to do. Or if you are a local business owner and you have activities or something like that that you could help out with, you know, whatever you can. I'm sure you guys are grateful
Correct.
for, you know, the experiences that
Every,
are provided
every
during
little
this
bit
journey.
helps and
Correct.
goes a long way.
Right, I mean, if you have hours you'd like to donate to us for the week while the family is here, we would love to have you help us out.
Okay.
What kind of stuff? So, I mean, if they're not, we're gonna jump back in, but as far as like people that wanted to donate their time, just like helping with just organizing things, or what would?
Well, it would be I'll try and be really brief. So
Yeah.
Sunday night when the families arrive, we have an opening meal.
Okay,
And so they can help out by being one of the servers
gotcha.
or decorating the place that we have. We have 2 locations because we have 22 families. We actually have separated them into 2 distinct retreats where never will they meet.
Okay.
So that, because if you have 22 families, I'm not going to get to know everybody. You
Yeah,
know, I
it's
might
hard.
just stick with 1 or
Right.
2 families, whereas if we drop it down to 10 or 11, then you're going to get to know that.
Got it.
But so they can come and they can help serve. They can be part of my minion group if they like, because during the course of the year, we have fundraisers, we make pillows, we make seashell bags for the families.
For
we
more
do
like you're saying,
eyeglasses,
yeah,
right,
for
as
stuff they
little
can take
gifts.
with them. Yeah,
Correct.
exactly. All right, well,
And
good.
so there are several ways to donate. If you don't, like, it's not always monetary, but your time is just as valuable to us.
Perfect.
Got it.
Sounds good. And a big shout out to the local owners in New Smyrna Beach of this beautiful oceanfront
Yes.
home that we're in right now. They have donated this home for a week to the organization Little Pink Houses. So it does take a village and a community to bring everybody together and make things happen. So thank you. With that
thank
being
you.
said,
Thank
thank you
you
for
so
your
much.
time
Thank you,
and
Tim.
sharing Little Pink
Appreciate
Houses
it.
of Hope,
Yes.
especially during Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Thank you to our viewers. We appreciate you guys. And even if you don't have a beachside home, remember they're looking for new locations. So still go to that website. And that's it, compadre.
Nothing too big or small. Just reach out if you'd like to volunteer or help in any way.
All right, guys, we'll see you soon and have a great week. See you next week's video.
Have a great week.